Hello, everybody out there. It is Sebastian of Sebastian's Movie Game Time, and today on episode 53, I believe, I'm gonna be reviewing movies that I saw in theaters from 2004, 2005, 2006, and the main topic, of course, is 2007. So let's get started, shall we? First off, now this is going to 2004 that I saw in theaters of movies. We have Alien versus Predator. It's about a team of people who get themselves involved a, a war battle between alien creatures and predator hunters. It stars Sana, Sana Latin, Tommy Flanagan, and Lynn Erickson. I give Alien versus Predator uh, 1 out of 3 stars. We have iRobot. It's about in the year 2035 about a cop who is investigating the murder of a scientist that may be committed that was done by an artificial intelligent robot. It stars Will Smith, Bridget Monahan, Bruce Greenwood, James Cromwell, and Chili McBride, and Shia LaBeouf. I give iRobot 1 out of 3 stars. We have now these are movies and theaters I saw in 2005. We have The Interpreter. It's about a woman who's an interpreter who hears an assassination plot that by someone inside within the United Nations. It stars Nicole Kidman, Sean Penn. I give The Interpreter 1 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Rebound. It's about a man who's who's demented to a junior team has become a basketball coach to the kids who wants to play basketball. I'm sorry, it's about a man who becomes a basketball coach for for the kids who wants to play basketball. Rebound stars Martin Lawrence, Brooklyn Meyer. I give Rebound 1 out of 3 stars. We have the skeleton key. It's about a nurse woman who works at a plantation home where she uncovers voodoo magic. It stars Kate Hudson, Peter Sarsgaard, Gina Rollins, and John Hurt. I give the skeleton key 1 out of 3 stars. We also we have Doom. It's about an elite group of space marines as they arrive on Mars, on a Mars planet where they battle monster creatures. It stars The Rock, before he was known as Dwayne Johnson, Carl Urban, and Rosamund Pike. I give Dune 2 out of 3 stars. We have Flawless Dick and Jane. It's about a couple who lost their money as they both start a life of crime. It stars Jim Carrey, Tia Leone, Angie Herman, Richard Jenkins, Alec Baldwin. I give Flawless Dick and Jane 1 out of 3 stars. We have White Noise. It's about a man who's dead, DC's wife, as he starts hearing his dead wife some voice for electronic MVP phenomenon. It stars Michael Keaton. White Noise. I give White Noise 1 out of 3 stars. We also have the movie called The Island. It's about 2 people who escape from a secret place called the Island, where they go on a run from a hired mercenary in front of the police. It stars Ewan McGregor, Scarlett Johansson, Digimon Henslew, Sean Bean, Steve Buscemi, and Michael Clark Dunklin. Michael Clark Dunklin, who has like a strong, powerful moment scene. It's a Michael Bay film, The Island. I give The Island 1 out of 3 stars. Okay, that would do it for the movies that I saw in theaters from 2005. Now I move on to 2006 films that I saw in theaters. So we have the X-Men, The Last Stand. It's about the X-Men mutants who go up against Magneto, who was a former member of X-Men, as they must battle Magneto and his army against the humans. It stars Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Halle Berry, Ian McKellen, Fatmi Janssen, James Marsden, Anna Paquin, Alan Page before he changed it to Alia Page, Kelsey Grammer, Vinnie Jones. I give X Men The Last Stand 2 out of 3 stars. We have the third Mission Impossible movies, but IMF agent Ethan Hunt, who goes up against a ruthless arms dealer after trainees, one of his trainee students gets caught, has been caught. Um, While at the same time, he proposed to a woman that he's about to marry. Um, Mission Impossible. It's the third. It's the third entry trilogy of the Mission Impossible movies. But this is the third Mission Impossible movie. It stars Tom Cruise, Michelle Monaghan, Billy Crudup, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, uh, Johnson Rice Myers, Maggie Q, and the late Philip Seymour Hoffman. And this is a J.J. Abrams' first directing film debut. It's the third Mission Impossible movie. If you didn't know that, J.J. Abrams' first film directing. So I give the third Mission Impossible movie 2 out of 3 stars. We have Night Museum. It's about a new security guard who takes a nighttime guard shift job as he discovers that everything in the museum starts coming to life at nighttime. It stars Ben Stiller, Carla Gugino, Mickey Rooney, Dick Van Dyke, Robin Williams, Owen Wilson, and Steve Coogan. I give Night Museum, the first Night Museum, 2 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Blood Diamond. It, it's about a smuggler who must help a fisherman to find his missing son who was kidnapped or abducted by guerrilla rebel warfare soldiers. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Dijman Hanslu, Jennifer Conlon, and Anna Vosloo. I give Blood Diamond 1 out of 3 stars. We have the Da Vinci Code. It's about a man and woman who must uncover the truth about a murder, as they also uncover the truth about as they discover the clues to Leonardo da Vinci's painting. It stars Tom Hanks, Ian McKellen, Alfred Molina, Paul Bettany, Jean Reno. I gave the Da Vinci Code 1 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Poseidon. It's about it's about a group of survive. It's about a group of surviving people who must survive after a cruise liner ship has been knocked on its side by a giant massive wave. It's a remake. This movie, Poseidon, it's a remake movie to the 70s disaster classic film called The Poseidon Adventure. Anyways, this Poseidon remake movie, it stars Kurt Russell, Richard Dreyfuss, Emily Roshelm, Josh Lucas, Stacey Ferguson, um, Kevin Dillon, and Freddie Rodriguez, and Emmy Rossum. I give the remake Poseidon 2 out of 3 stars. We have Night of the Living Dead in 3D. It's shot in 3D. It's a zombie remake that's shot in 3D as survivors must take shelter at a local farm at a farmhouse that must battle zombies that is surrounding it. It stars Brianna Brown and Sid Haig. I get Night of the Living Dead in 3D 1 out of 3 stars. We have Miami Vice. It's about two Miami finance detectives as they go undercover to infiltrate a drug lord and his crime business. It stars Jimmy Fox, Colin Farrell, Gong Lee, Naomi Harris, Justin Darrow, and John Ortiz. It's a Michael Mann movie, Miami Vice. If you know, it's a Michael Mann film. I give Miami Vice the movie 2 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Touristas. It's about a group of party people who's waking up one morning, find out that their wallets and their backpacks have gone missing, as they must fight for survival. It stars Josh Duhamel, Olivia Wilde, and Melissa George. It's kind of like a hostel. It's kind of like a hostel movie that that is set like in Brazil, in the jungles of Brazil. I give Terroristas 1 out of 3 stars. We have a we also have a move. We also have Nacho Libre. It's about a monk who dreams of being a Nacho Libre Mexican wrestler. It stars Jack Black. I give Nacho Libre 1 out of 3 stars. There's Lady in the Water. It's about a group of resident people as they discover a young woman in a swimming pool as they discovered who she really is. It stars Paul Giamatti, Bryce Dallas Howard, Jeffrey Wright, Brady Rodriguez, and M. Night Shyamalan as himself. I give Lady in the Water 2 out of 3 stars. We have Scary Movie. We have we have Scary Movie 4. It's about it's a parody. It's a parody movie that's spoofing War the Worlds, Saw, The Grudge. It stars Anna Faris, Regina Hall, Bill Pullman, Anthony Anderson, Kevin Hart, Molly Shannon, Chris Elliott, Dr. Phil McGraw, Shaq O'Neal, Leslie Nielsen, and Michael Madsen. I give Scary Movie 4 1 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called The Guardian. It's about a swim champion who has trouble, who trains under the legendary rescue swimmer. It stars Kevin Costner, Austin Kutcher, Stella Ward, Clancy Brown, and Neil McDonough. I give The Guardian 1 out of 3 stars. We have the World Trade Center about 2 police officers who get trapped inside a tower building after a plane has hit both of the 2 towers. It stars Nicolas Cage, Michael Pena, Maria Bello, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jay Hernandez, and Stephen Dorff. As an Oliver Stone movie, World Trade Center. I give World Trade Center 1 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Talladega Nights. It's the ballad of Ricky Bobby. It's about a popular NASCAR racer, Ricky Bobby, as he races against a new race car driver. It stars Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Sacha Baron Cohen, Gary Cole, Jane Lynch, Amy Adams, and Michael Clark Dunklin. I give Talladega Nights 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Hills Have Eyes. It's about a family who's on a road trip, who's on a way to San Diego, gets stranded, trapped by a tribal cannibal family. It's a remake to the Wes Craven classic film, The Hills Have Eyes. But this Hills Have Eyes remake stars Vanessa Shaw, Kathleen Krillerman, Ted Levine, Aaron Stafford, and Emily D. Raven. I give the Hills of Ice remake 1 out of 3 stars. We have Silent Hill. Now, Silent Hill is based on the popular video game series. It's about a woman who goes looking for her daughter who went missing, in this small a town called Silent Hill, where she counters evil. It stars Radha Mitchell, Laurie Holden, and Sean Bean. I give Silent Hill, the movie, 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Ricker Man. It's about a sheriff who who is investigating the disappearance of a young girl who's gone. They believe she's gone missing on this isolated island where he meets the local villagers and his local people about the secret that they're harboring. It stars Nicolas Cage, Ellen Burstyn, and Lily Soboletsky. I get The Ricker Man. Now, this movie, The Ricker Man, it's a remake to the original 70s of the same movie title called The Ricker Man from the 70s. Well, like I said, this Ricker Man remake movie stars Nicolas Cage, Ellen Burstyn, and Lily Soboletsky. I give the Ricker Man remake 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Omen as a remake to a classic 70s movie called The Omen. It's about an American ambassador and his wife, whose son Damien is not the son that they wanted, that they believe that their new son is the son of the devil. It stars Leah Schreiber, Julia Stiles, and Mia Farrow. And actually, Mia Farrow, she did a classic movie from the late 60s called Rosemary's Baby. Well, Mia Farrow, she's the evil nanny who takes care of the Damien child in his Omen remake movie, if you didn't know that. So, I give the Omen 1 out of 3 stars. We had The Prestige. It's about two rival magicians who battle each other for their own secrets that they both have. It stars Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson, David Bowie, and Michael Caine. Um, this movie, The Prestige, it's a Christopher Nolan movie, The Prestige, and it stars David Bowie. Now, you should know who David Bowie is if you know his music songs from the 70s or the 80s. You know, he appears in this movie. I give the Prestige movie 1 out of 3 stars. We have Resident Evil Extension. It's about a woman named Alice who leads a group of survivors to defeat hordes of zombies and the Umbrella and stopping Umbrella Corporation. It stars Mila Jovovich, Odette Fair, Arlie Lauder, and Mike Elps. I give Resident Evil Extension 1 out of 3 stars. We have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. It's about 4 people who encounter a cannibalism family, also encounter a Leatherface, a chainsaw really serial killer. It stars Jordana Brewster and Arlie Ermy. I get Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, 1 out of 3 stars. We have RV. It's about a family who go on a cross country road trip, and the RV as they encounter a zany of cast of characters. It stars the late Robin Williams, Josh Hutcherson, and Jeff Daniels. I give RV 1 out of 3 stars. We have Dreamgirls. It's about a music producer who finds free wannabe singers and make them famous. It stars Jimmy Fox, Beyonce Knowles, Eddie Murphy, Danny Glover, and Jennifer Hudson. I give Dreamgirls 1 out of 3 stars. We have Blackstick Moan. It's about a man who takes a young woman as a young woman victim, as he chains her into his house as he changes her life around. It stars Samuel Jackson, Christina Ricci, Justin Timberlake. I give Black Snake Moan 1 out of 3 stars. We have Saw Free. It's by Jigsaw, who abducts a doctor to keep him alive while new traps are happening on his new victims. It stars Tobin Bell and Shawnee Smith. I give Saw Free 1 out of 3 stars. We have Inside Man. It's about a police detective. It's about a police detective who's figuring out who finds out a bank robber and his team they have robbed a bank heist job, not knowing not knowing what the police detective that the bank robber has in store for him. It stars Denzel Washington, Jodie Foster, Clive Owen, Willem Dafoe, Christopher Plummer. I give Inside Man 1 out of 3 stars. We have Click. It's about a workaholic man who finds a universal remote that every time that he fast forwards allows him to fast forward ahead in the future about what his life is will be like. It stars Adam Sandler, Kate Beckinsale, Henry Winkler, Sean Astin, Christopher Walken, and Jennifer Coolidge. I give Click 1 out of 3 stars. We have Superman Returns. It's about Superman who comes back to Earth as he goes up against his arch nemesis Lex Luthor. It stars Brandon Roth, Kevin Spacey, Kate Bosworth, James Marsden, and Parker Posey. I give Superman Returns 1 out of 3 stars. Okay, that will do it for the 2006 movies. Now we move on to 2007 the 2007 movies that I saw in theaters. Um, we have Saw 4. It's about after the death of Jigsaw, a lieutenant who must save his 2 other officers or 2 other agents, as he must find out who is Jigsaw's real appearance is. It stars Tobin Bell, Scott Scott Peterson, Bessie Russell, and Costas Mandalore. I give Saw 4 1 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Shooter. It's about a marksman expert who finds his life and himself being framed by the people that that they recruited him for. I see must clear his name. Shooter movie stars Mark Wahlberg, Michael Pena, Danny Glover, Ned Beatty, Kate Moore, and Elias Cortez. This movie Shooter is directed by a director named Antoine Fuqua. I give the Shooter movie 1 out of 3 stars. We have Ghost Rider. It's about a motorcycle rider who makes a deal with the devil to save his father's life. It stars Nicolas Cage, Eva Mendes, Sam Elliott, Peter Fonda. I give Ghost Rider 1 out of 3 stars. We have a Zodiac movie. It's about a cartoonist who becomes obsessed with the Zodiac killer, and he must find out who the Zodiac killer really is. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Yoma Maroney, Brian Cross, Anthony Edwards, Brian Cross, John Carroll Lynch, and Elias Coltez. I give the Zodiac movie 1 out of 3 stars. We have Knocked Up. It's about a stoner man who has a one night stand with a businesswoman and she finds out that she's pregnant with this child. It stars Katherine Heigl, Seth Rogen, Leslie Mann, Paul Rudd, and Jonah Hill. I get Knocked Up 1 out of 3 stars. We have Vacancy. It's about 2 couples who stay at a rundown motel where they discovered the hidden VHS tapes of people being murdered in the same hotel room that the couples are staying in, and they must fight for their lives. Vacancy stars Kate Beckinsale and Luke Wilson. I give Vacancy 2 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Fracture. It's about a businessman who who confesses that he shot his own wife, and he must hire a younger attorney to help him to defend him in his case. Fracture stars Anthony Hopkins, Ryan Gosling, and Rosamund Pike. I give Fracture 1 out of 3 stars. We have Balls of Fury. It's about a man who takes part in a ping pong tournament where he, an FBI agent, must bring down a person who killed his father. It stars Dan Fogel, George Lopez, Maggie Q, James Hahn, Terry Crews, Robert Patrick, and Christopher Walken. I give Balls of Fury 1 out of 3 stars. I Am Legend is about a man who's the last person on Earth as he must battle creatures to find a cure. It stars Will Smith. I give I Am Legend 1 out of 3 stars. We have 20 weeks later. It's about a brother and sister reunite with their father during a lockdown quarantine zone run by military soldiers during a zombie invasion. It stars Jeremy Renner, Rose Byrne, Robert Carlyle, and Idris Elba. I give 20 weeks later 1 out of 3 stars. We have Primeval. It's about a news team who's been sent to capture a 25-foot crocodile that began stalking him by stalking the the news team people. It stars Dominic Purcell, Brooke Lanton, and Orlando Jones. I give Primeval 1 out of 3 stars. We have a Wild Hogs. It's about 4 biker guys who go on a road trip as they encounter other bikers who are dangerous and get themselves into trouble. It stars John Travolta, Tim Allen, William H. Macy, Martin Lawrence, Ray Liotta, Kevin Durant, Marissa Tomei, and Peter Fonda. I give Wild Hogs 1 out of 3 stars. We have Alien vs. Predator, Requiem. It's a sequel to the first Alien vs. Predator. It's about the local residents in a Colorado small town must survive a battle that's between aliens and predators. It stars John Artis and Johnny Lewis and Sam Trimmel. I give Alien vs. Predator Requiem 1 out of 3 stars. We have Bridge to Terabithia. It's about 2 young kids who discover a secret world place that's called the Kingdom of Terabithia. It stars Josh Hutcherson, Anna Sophia Robb, Zoe Deschanel, Robert Patrick. I give Bridge to Terabithia 1 out of 3 stars. We have Juno. It's about a young woman who finds out that she's pregnant and she must make a hard decision choices that will change her life. It stars Ellen Page, Michael Cera, Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman, Allison Janney, and J.K. Simmons. I give Juno 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Kingdom. It's about a team of U.S. agents who come to the middle of Southern Arabia, where they must find a terrorist. It stars Jimmy Fox, Jennifer Garner, Chris Cooper, Jason Bateman. I give The Kingdom 1 out of 3 stars. We have the third Rush Hour 3. It's about 2 guys from the 2 past Rush Hour movies as they travel to Paris to find and as they stop as they must stop an assassin who almost shot and killed the ambassador. It stars Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, Hiroyuki Sanada, Max von Sydow. I give the third Rush Hour movie 2 out of 3 stars. We have Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. It's about Harry and his friends who must battle the evil Lord Voldemort and the other evil wizards, starring Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Ralph Fiennes, Gary Oldman, Brendan Gleeson, and Michael Gambon, Maggie Smith, and Alan Rickman. I gave Harry Potter and Order of the Phoenix 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Orphanage. It's about a woman who comes back to her comes back to an orphanage that she used to live in, where her son goes missing. It stars Belina Ruda. I give The Orphanage 1 out of 3 stars. We have Paranormal Activity. It's about two couples who move into the new home as they start noticing that strange supernatural evil like at night. It stars Katie Federson's son. I get the first Paranormal Activity movie, 1 out of 3 stars. We have Hot Fuzz. It's about a London police sergeant who gets transferred to a small town where he must investigate a series of brutal murders of local residents. It stars Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Martin Freeman, Bill Nighy, and Timothy Dalton. I give Hot Fuzz 1 out of 3 stars. We have Eastern Promises. It's about a nurse woman who must look after a, a young child whose mother was killed. At the same time, the nurse woman befriended with a Russian gangster. It stars Naomi Watts and Viggo Mortensen. I give Eastern Promises 1 out of 3 stars. We have Disturbia. It's about a troubled teenager who suspects that his neighbor is a cold-blooded serial killer. It stars Shia LaBeouf, Sarah Romar, Carrie-Ann Moss, and David Morse. I give Disturbia 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Golden Compass. It's about a young girl who goes on a journey to rescue safe kidnapping children from a mysterious organization that stars Nicole Kidman, Daniel Craig, Ian McKellen, Ian McShane, Eva Green, Christopher Lee, and Sam Elliott. I give The Golden Compass 1 out of 3 stars. We have Captivity. It's about two people, a woman and a man, who wake up as they find themselves locked in trap in a cellar. It stars Alicia Charbert. I give Captivity 1 out of 3 stars. We have the first Transformers. It's about a teenager who gets caught between a war battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons. It stars Shia LaBeouf, Josh Duhamel, Megan Fox, John Turturro, Tyrese Gibson, Richo Taylor, Anthony Anderson, and John Voight. I get the first Transformers 2 out of 3 stars. We have The Mist. It's about a group of people who take shelter inside a grocery store where something strange inside of a steamy fog mist starts attacking the people. It stars Thomas Jane, Marcia Gay Harden, Laurie Halden, Andre Breyer, Kobe Jones, and William Sadler. I give Stephen King's The Mist 1 out of 3 stars. We have 1408. It's about it's about a man who checks into a haunted room, which is room 1408, where he starts seeing strange things that makes him start asking him his insanity. It stars John Cusack and Samuel Jackson. I give 1408 1 out of 3 stars. We have No Country for Old Men. It's about a veteran man who finds a briefcase of drug money and goes on a run with it while going on a run as a contract killer is upon his trail along with the Texas Ranger who's also on his trail. It stars Tommy Lee Jones, Harvey Bardem, Josh Brolin, Kelly MacDonald, Woody Harrelson. No Country for Old Man or for Old Man. I get No Country for Old Man 1 out of 3 stars. We have We Own the Night. It's about two brothers, a bar club owner, and a Boston detective as they must bring down a mafia hitman. It stars Mark Wahlberg, Joaquin Phoenix, Eva Mendes, Robert Duvall. I give We Own the Night 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Messengers. It's about a family who moved to a farmhouse where supernatural evil spirit starts terrorizing them. It stars Kristen Stewart, Penelope Ann Miller, Dylan McDermott, and John Corbett. I give The Messengers 1 out of 3 stars. We have Spider-Man Freeze by Peter Parker. Spider-Man must battle two new villains, a Venom, a strange, a str- is about who faces new villains, which includes the Sandman and Venom that makes him Dark Spider-Man as well. It stars Tobey Maguire, Gopher Grace, Kristen Dunst, James Franco, Thomas Hayden Church, Bryce Dallas Howard, J.K. Simmons, and James Cromwell. I give Spider-Man 3 1 out of 3 stars. We have Kicking It Old School. It's about a young man who's a breakdancer who wakes up from a coma for 20 years as as he tries to get back right into breakdancing. It stars Jimmy Kennedy. Kicking It Old School. I give it 1 out of 3 stars. We have Death Sentence. It's about a man who gets revenge on a group of local thugs who killed his son and got away with it. It stars Kevin Bacon, Kelly Preston, Garrett Harland, John Goodman. It's directed by James Wan, who directed Death Sentence. I get Death Sentence 1 out of 3 stars. We have Dead Silence. It's about a guy who comes back to his hometown with a scary, creepy puppet after the death of his girlfriend. It stars Ryan Coturant, Amber Velita, Bob Gunton, and Donnie Wahlberg. Dead Silence. I give it 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Heartbreak Kid. It's about a man who just got married, falls for another woman while on his honeymoon. It stars Ben Stiller, Maureen Ackerman, and Michelle Monaghan. I give The Heartbreak Kid 1 out of 3 stars. We have The Lookout. It's about a teenager who works as a janitor at a local bank, befriended a woman who's connected to a bank robber and two of his associates. It stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jeff Daniels, Matthew Good, Isa Fisher, and Bruce McGill. I give The Lookout 1 out of 3 stars. We have Shoot 'em Up. It's about a man who gets himself into a world of chaos where a disgraced and ruthless hitman and his henchmen plans to kill a child. As the mysterious man must protect the child. It stars Clive Owen, Paul Giamatti, Monica Bellucci. Shoot 'em Up. I give it 2 out of 3 stars. We have Mr. Brooks. It's about a family man who by days as a husband kill a wife and a daughter, and by night he's a serial killer who kills people. It stars Kevin Costner, Demi Moore, Dane Cook, Danelle Painter Baker, William Hurt. I give Mr. Brooks 2 out of 3 stars. We have Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie. It's about a teenager. It's about a 10-year-old Michael Myers who killed his sister and her mother's boyfriend. As years later, Michael Myers, who's now a grown person man, has escaped from the mental institution state and comes back to his hometown called Haddonfield as he starts going on killing more rampage. It stars Mark McDowell, Sharon Moon Zombie, Scott Terrell Compton, Taylor Maine, Udo Carr, Clint Howard, Ken Forey, Lou Temple, Denny Trell, Dee Wallace, Sid Haig, Danelle Harris and Brad Dorff, Richard Lynch, and William Forsythe. I gave Rob Zombie's first Halloween 1 out of 3 stars. And I'm sorry, I forgot to talk about a movie from 2006 I forgot to talk about. So we have Epic Movie. It's a spoof parody movie that involves blockbuster movies, which includes The Chronicles of Narnia, Snakes on a Plane, X-Men The Last Stand, The Da Vinci Code, and Charlie and Chocolate Factory. It stars Cal Penn, Fred Riller, Crispin Glover, and Jennifer Coolidge. Oh, and the Pirates Caribbean movies too. Epic Movies is kind of spoofing on Pirates Caribbean movies. I forgot to mention about that. I give Epic Movie 1 out of 3 stars. Oh, and there's one movie from 2007, which I don't know why I forgot to talk about. So We have Superbad. It's about three teenagers who plan to party to blend in with the other students' crowd till till before things kind of become chaos for the two teenagers as well. It stars Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, Seth Rogen, Emma Stone, and Bill Hader. Oh, and also too, the Superbad movie. It's kind of a reunion, first time with Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, because later on, or years later, they were going to do another Netflix. They were going to do another kind of series that was on Netflix. It's called Maniac, I think it's called. It's a Netflix series called Maniac. Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, they kind of reunited together for that Netflix series that was on Netflix. I'm not sure it's not there now anymore, but this is the first time that Jonah Hill and Emma Stone first met during Superbad, and years later they went on to do that Netflix series called Manic, whatever it's called. It's really quite interesting Netflix series. If you never heard nothing about it, it's really interesting. So it was good to see Jonah Hill and Emma Stone reunite with each other since Superbad, and also as you can see, I'm wearing a Superbad T-shirt. So um. Okay, everybody, that will do it. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and you'll get new content episodes Mondays. Thank you for watching Sebastian's Movie Game Time, episode 53, and I'll see all of you at the movies.